Welcome to a new episode of the EDJ Whitetails. Today is December 28th, I think. I'll have to double check that. I'm kind of losing track of time here a little bit. Just got back from a family Christmas. Headed in for an afternoon hunt. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, while I've got you here, real quick, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Continue to build the channel. We've grown a lot over the year, which is fantastic. We appreciate everybody that has joined us in 2024. And so, all that being said, we are headed in this evening, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I don't generally bow hunt out of the ground blind or the tower blind, Delana's tower blind. Tonight I'm going to give that a shot. We have a wind out of the southwest, and it's supposed to shift to the south. And I decided I really didn't want to play with swirling winds in the tree and everything. I'm going to give the blind a shot over the food plot. I thought about hitting the road stand, but just feel like I need to be right over top that food. So the goal in mind here is, if we see a nice random buck that I don't really know, definitely would probably go ahead and try and get that done. Wouldn't be opposed to taking one more doe out of the herd as well. So hang with me tonight. It's warm for this time of year. It's about 42 degrees right now, so light layer of Nomad on, headed to the blind. Normally would say tree, but headed to the blind, and follow along with me today. So yesterday here in northeast Iowa, we had quite a bit of rain. I don't know how much actually measurably, because I don't have my rain gauge out in the yard anymore after it got cold, but the creek has come up a lot. You can see I parked there. Actually walk to here and find this little sandbar. Dang near needed hip boots tonight to get across, but we're going to make our way now. It's very, very calm. Super calm, which I really don't like, but that solidifies my plan for the blind, because I can get away a little better with filming in the blind when it's calm, because I can move around just a little bit. And I'm going to be super quiet getting in tonight. One of those evenings where you just feel like you could feel a pin drop or hear a pin drop. But we're going to work our way in. I'll spend more time chatting on it in the blind. I am running just a touch behind. Came from a family Christmas at the in-laws down in the Quad Cities, so I'm going to go straight in as possible and get going here tonight. There goes a rooster. All right, I made it into the blind, and like I said, it is super, super quiet in here. Just as I cut the camera off, a whole bunch of pheasants got up out of a dogwood bush. And one thing I failed to mention before, when I come in at the gate, there was a herd of about, I don't know, a dozen deer or so out in the field. They ended up going into the south end of the property. I watched them until they walked in. In combination of seeing that deer herd and how many pheasants were piled into our section on my walk in, I feel like, I don't know because I wasn't around, but I feel like this morning the property to the north probably was pheasant hunted. I don't know for sure, but it just seems like that would be the case with the way things went getting in here. But, I'm positioned in the blind here with my chair sideways and looking out the window, of course. And the reason I'm positioned sideways is I can pick up the bow. I should probably have an arrow knocked while I'm sitting in here. I can pick up the bow here. Like I said, I'm not used to really hunting out of the blind with the bow, but now I can actually that'll get you. By sitting sideways though, and I've got my bow on the tripod ready to go, but by sitting sideways like that, I can go out of each window. Now this is a small blind, so my back, gotta watch my back, my elbow back here. But to make everything work and be able to go from window to window, I gotta be right up against that. So I'm gonna have to watch that and make sure I'm really quiet with that if I do go to shoot. So I'm gonna sit back, open up a Dr. Pepper, and yes, I had to double check there. It is December 28th. So thanks for settling in and watching, and hopefully we bring you some action here out of the blind. I feel like this is a good setup tonight to film. So hang with me. A couple hours till dark, and let's hope it's not too warm for him to move in daylight. So it's just now 4 o'clock, 4:01, and I had a little button buck, one of the healthy button bucks we've always, I've come to know really well on the bow plot. Had him just to out the left window here, and I was just waiting for him to come out of the brush and get him on film. And one of the farmers to the west has been working on his waterways out there. He just started moving some equipment around, and it's so still out here. I mean, he's 500-600 yards away, maybe even further than that. That little button buck nervous, and he went back in the woods. So I should have just put the camera out the window and filmed him through the brush. So I had to add a deer in there for you. But it's only 4 o'clock. We got a little over an hour yet, so I think we'll still have some action. It's interesting that usually farm equipment don't bother them, but it's so still. So I failed there a little bit. I should have just put the camera out the window. Got a little footage of him through the sticks, but I thought I was going to be professional and patient and wait for him to come out on the lot and just have perfect footage, but I should have known better than that. So it's while I would like it to be a lot colder to have the deer move, say that. Like I said, I don't have a ton of gear on tonight, so as far as that goes, it's comfortable. I would definitely take some colder weather. They'd be moving around a lot more for sure. About an hour to go. Hopefully we'll get something on here for you. Well, as you can see, the ground fog is settling in. Excuse me. And it's very, very calm. All we've seen tonight then is that little button buck. And one thing I hope you take away from this video is how that button buck showed exactly how deer will utilize turnips and radish. We have a mix in here. We have a mix called Final Forage by Mossy Oak Biologic. And as you saw earlier in the video, I panned across it, and all the green tops are gone. And then they start whittling their way kind of around the top of it, as you saw, and they'll work their way around and kind of spiral in. And then as it gets down to where they're at dirt level, they'll actually start to kick it up out of the ground with their hooves. it's interesting, you know, they'll really utilize the green top as it really starts getting cold in November. After that first frost, there's some enzymes that break down in there that really makes that green top sweet to a deer's palate. And now they've got the carbohydrates with the actual turnip part of it. The green, as I said, is long gone, but there's all that source of carbohydrates in that turnip. And then, of course, they'll head out to the destination feed, which is beans and corn. So we're giving them a real well balanced diet in here, along with all the habitat work that I've done and a lot of good browse. I really didn't feel like we would see a lot of deer tonight. It's just too warm for this time of year. And it's not necessarily entirely, you need it cold, of course, to get them to move to feed. But when you get warm days like this, especially when a lot of people have time off around the holidays, like right now, everybody's out doing something. Everybody's out in their yard shooting their gun. Everybody's cutting wood. Chainsaws are running. The possibilities are endless here. There's a lot more people out hunting. And when you get nice weather like that, everybody's out doing something. And after going through gun seasons, deer are very reluctant to move anyway. And when you have a lot of activity going on around the area like that, they're also going to be very reluctant to move in the daylight with a lot of activity going on. So it really doesn't surprise me that we saw just the button buck tonight. I appreciate seeing him, though. He's so healthy looking. And I just feel like one day he's going to really be something. It's going to take 4 or 5 years, but really feel like he'll be something. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this episode up shortly after 5. As always, if I do see something else, I'll add it to the video. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think I'll probably be back out the next couple days each evening. Got some time off work right now, and as long as I'm not completely blowing stuff out of the woods, I'll be real selective on where I sit, not to make too much intrusion. We want to do our best to keep them in here, keep them eating on what we've put here for them, and keep them healthy. So season runs till January 10th yet, so try and get out here a few more times, bring you each episode. And like I said at the beginning, if you would hit that subscribe button, even if you don't intend on watching us all that often, it's free, it's easy. All you gotta do is click that subscribe, and it helps us out a ton. So until most likely tomorrow evening, I'm Eric Johnston with the EDJ Whitetails, and remember to always get outdoors.